consolidated two here because I didn't have time to rip them apart and make two separate ones. All right. What you have is the last stage of that sequence that shows you right here the little D1 called the monadic Merkaba that forms off of the D1 monadic Cathara grid. There's not the monad's at the center that we'll talk about tomorrow. But this little Merkaba inside, this one, when it completely reverses what's called the monad that's in the Azure. That is monadic reversal. When that goes, the rest of them completely go. This one is very close to going because that one is going past 2/3 activation now. This is what being Metatronic is about. Those fields that have been dormant because they locked into a same rotation, one pulling one way, one pulling the other way, about 13,000 years ago, are now coming into activation because we're blending with phantom. So the negative side is picking up more reversal progressively, where it will end up with 2/3 reversal to the 1/3 Christic that has been holding it since that point. When the second, the D2 level, emotional body one goes completely, it is intended to flip over the interior monadic Merkaba and the monad and the mental body one around it. We're just being asked to help ourselves flip ourselves into Metatronic reversal by using very special breathing patterns, particularly circular breathing, which is like breathing in a figure eight and strangling yourself to death, cutting yourself off at the middle, where they're using certain breathing patterns to activate the outer one, to amplify the activation of the second D2 level one in order to turn over the D1 level one completely, which means it will make, remember, D1 corresponds to the things you don't see in your body, but that are there building your body, which are your electrons, protons, neutrons, subatomic particles. Once you reverse this completely, your electrons spin in the opposite to natural direction, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Once that's completely locked in, your Cathara grid, these spirals start to push each other apart. They invert, reverse, and form again a mutated Cathara grid axis, which we'll get into tomorrow, probably on the planetary level, but you'll be able to translate it back into this. For now, what's important is the solution to all of this. You don't want to do circular breathing. You don't want to do figure eight breathing unless you want to amplify the Bivecca mutation, which is a mutation that cuts you off at the center and circulates energy this way and this way. And there's a half-step block between chakras 3 and 4 that stops the natural flow of breathing and energy that comes through the Azure. Lotus breathing does not cut you off in the middle. Lotus breathing is at the same time. Remember we've done 2-point breaths before? Where you pull in 2 different directions at once and push in 2 different directions at once. And then when we started heliothallics, we did 3-point, right? The heliothesis line coming here and this one here simultaneously. Right? Well, we're going to do 6-point.